to my May reading wrap up and my June TBCs. I'm gonna go through all the books that I read in the month of May, give you my thoughts, my ratings, and then also go through the books that I'm thinking about reading in the month of June. Okay, I was trying to decide if I wanted to go in order of their ratings or when I read them, and I think I'm gonna go in order of when I read them. My first read for May was Yesteryear by Carol Claire Burke. I really liked this book. From the very first chapter, I was cracking up laughing, like multiple times throughout the book. I was laughing out loud. I do think that it got a little bit slow in the middle, but the ending completely made up for it. I rated this 4.25 stars, which is a little bit annoying, but I don't feel like it was a 4-star and I don't feel like it was a 4.5. I've heard a lot of criticism about the main character, and I know we're not necessarily supposed to like her. I think the author wanted us to have a little bit of sympathy for her towards the end. I didn't really. I mean, she was just horrible, but I think if you go into it knowing that she's just a terrible, terrible person and you just kind of have fun with it, it can be a really good book for you. If you don't like being in the mind of someone who is so insufferable, then maybe don't pick it up. The second book that I read was Furybound by Sable Sorensen. This is the second to Direbound. I read Direbound last year. I absolutely loved it. I rated it 5 stars. I know that book is hit or miss for some people. I loved it. I was very, very excited for Furybound to come out. I absolutely love Stark. I rated this one 4 stars only because I feel like there were just some moments throughout the book where I'm like, did we lose the plot here? It was getting a little bit crazy. Next, I read The Correspondent. I gave this 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. This book was so, so good. When I first picked it up, I was only physically reading it, and I had a really hard time getting into it because it's all written in letters and different types of correspondence. It was a little bit difficult to physically read. You can definitely just physically read it, and it's probably still a really good book, but I ended up listening to it and immersive reading most of it. I think that helped so much because you got to have different voices for every single character in the book, and oh my gosh, it just made it a lot more emotional. Listening to the letter from her ex-husband, I was bawling my eyes out. So good. The ending, so good. I am not someone who traditionally likes to re-listen to books or reread books, but for some reason I want to re-listen to this so bad. I'm just missing her voice and all of her letters and her like witty responses, and she's kind of grouchy at times. She's not perfect. If you haven't read this book yet, please read it. You will absolutely love it. I don't know a single person that hasn't liked it. The next book that I read was June Baby, and I unfortunately did not love this book. I ended up giving it 2.5 stars. I think I may round it up to 3 only because I did love the summer vibes. I love a small town East Coast island romance, but I didn't love the main character. I struggled to connect with her, and I feel like she made some very questionable decisions, which to me is completely fine if you grow from them. And I don't know if the growth was completely portrayed by the end. I know she had some growing up that she did. I was just looking for a little bit more from her, I think. Then I listened to Mad Mabel. I loved this book so much too. I had a really great month for audiobooks. The narrator did a great job switching between like a young woman and an older grouchy woman. It was really well done. Flashbacks were great. The murder mystery throughout the whole book was thrilling. I really recommend this book. Again, it's one that I recommend on audio if you are into audiobooks. 5 stars. Next book that I read was This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me, and I'm so sorry for this horribly unpopular opinion, but I did not like this book at all. I gave it 2.5 stars, really just for creativity. Maybe it just wasn't for me. The info dumping at the beginning was just way too much, and it lasts throughout the entire book. It does get better, but there is a lot of information in here that I don't feel like we need. The premise of the book is so interesting, but I wish we were experiencing what was going on with Maggie rather than Maggie being dropped into this world she knows everything about and then just like giving us all of the information. Anyways, not for me, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be for you. So just because I didn't like it doesn't mean you shouldn't try it. After finishing that book, I needed something quick and binge-worthy, so I picked up Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, and wow. I thought this book was so sweet. I love young love, first love, high school sweethearts, all of that, and the ending made me cry. I just thought it was such a beautiful book. I rated this 4 stars, and the moment I finished this, I knew I needed like 10 more books just like it, so I picked up another Carly Fortune book, which was Our Perfect Storm. I liked this book. I definitely didn't like it as much as that one, but I did like it. I gave it 3.5 stars. The only real criticism I have with it is that it was so obvious they were in love with each other, and she was like oblivious to it. But I still really liked it. I thought it was cute. The ending of this book was really good. The letters were adorable. I was tearing up at all of them, and I loved how whales were incorporated throughout all of it, and that little blurb at the end she gave us was very, very beautiful. I just finished Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. This was my first Lisa Jewell book and my first thriller in a very long time. I really, really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. Basically, the premise of this book is that this woman loses her daughter when she was like 14, 15 years old. She just vanishes, and years later she meets this man, starts dating him, and when she meets his 9-year-old daughter, it looks identical to the daughter that she lost 10 years prior. And there's just all of these really creepy things that happen throughout the book. You're not sure what's going on. You're not sure who to trust, who did it, all of that. Yeah. Very, very good. Highly recommend. Okay, now let's go through my June TBC. For anyone new here, that means this is my to be considered list. I used to pull from a TBR jar that had all of the books on my physical TBR in there, and I had to read them in that month. But as a mood reader, it's very hard for someone to tell me what I had to read, even if that someone was me. Now at the beginning of the month, I just look over my entire physical TBR and pull books that I am interested in reading that month. And I'll just leave these next to my bed all month and reach for them if I want to. And if I don't want to, I'll go buy more books, I guess. Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. This has been on my TBC list for 2 months now. I actually do want to read it this month. I think I actually will read it soon. I've just heard good things about this. It's short and I feel like I'll enjoy it, so I want to pick it up soon. Real by Kennedy Ryan. Now that it is 80 degrees, I'm reaching for all romance books. I've had this on my TBR shelf for a couple months now. I know Score just came out and it's getting great reviews as well, so I want to read this one first. Next is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I want to read this like tomorrow. So I just stare at it all the time and I just see so many TikToks about it. I'm like, I have to read that book. But I've never read anything from Frederick Bachman before and I want to read this so bad. Next is Strangers. I feel like I'm late to the game here and I hate that, but I do want to read this really bad. To be honest, I've been a little bit nervous to read this because I've heard it's so depressing, but regardless, I'll be reading it soon. Almost Life. I actually soft DNF'd this about a month ago, but I am ready to pick it back up. The audio is really good for this one as well, so I might immersive read it or just listen to it because the French accent was nice to listen to. I didn't DNF it because I didn't like the book, I just wasn't really feeling it, but now again that it's almost summer and I'm in a summer romance vibe, I am ready to pick this one up. I don't think it's like the same happy, cheery books that some of these other romance authors are writing, but it is giving like summer and France vibe, so hopefully I can get back to this. Pure Nessie. I know nothing about this and apparently I'm supposed to go into it blind, but my friend and my brother are begging me to read it, so I have to read this soon. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I've never read anything from Abby Jimenez, but when I finish every summer after, I ask for recommendations on summer romances and everybody recommended this book, so I went out and picked it up immediately. Same kind of book, Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is another one that was recommended to me a lot when I asked for recommendations. I have read Funny Story from her, but I haven't read anything else, so I'm hoping I like this one. And lastly, Buckeye. I don't know why I feel so called to pick this book up. Something about this cover is just drawing me in. Every time I pass the TBR shelf, I'm like, I need to pick that book up. So hopefully I can read it this month. Okay, that was my May reading wrap up, and this is my June TBC. I'm open to any and all recommendations now that you can kind of see what I like. Oh, it's heavy. I post a lot more on my Instagram and my TikTok, so if you're not following me there yet, follow me there. And I would love it if you subscribed here. I will hopefully have a lot of fun YouTube videos coming out this month. So happy June and happy reading.